In this section of the program, we're talking about strategies to improve your positive feelings or friendship in your marriage. And one of these strategies is to get to know your partner. Happy couples have a rich and detailed understanding of each other. John Gottman calls it a love map, which is the part of your brain where you store information about your partner. So getting to know each other seems like such a simple thing. In fact, most partners would say that they know a lot about each other. And yet oftentimes that knowledge is rather superficial. For example, you might know where your partner grew up, but do you know anything about his or her best friends back in elementary school, or why these friends were important to her? Or you may know that your partner is experiencing a lot of stress at work right now, but do you understand the sources of that stress? Or are you aware of your partner's deepest fears or greatest longings? Happy couples' knowledge of each other is not just surface information, but deeper emotional knowledge. What are your partner's hopes and longings, likes? What brings her the greatest joy? What are his deepest fears and stresses? What is his life philosophy? What did she love most about her childhood? What was difficult in her childhood? What is his biggest dream? Who irritates him? Which relatives does he like the least and why? What is her favorite music and movie, and what is about that movie that she really likes? What would she say are the most special times in her life? And what are his favorite sports, and who are his favorite athletes and why? And what would be your partner's ideal job or favorite flower, or what is your partner's worst childhood experience? You know, I'm just scratching the surface here. The list of topics could go on and on. You deepen your friendship and love for one another as you construct such a richly detailed map of your partner. It reminds me of the saying, to know me is to love me. And to refer back to the last section of the program, the more you get to know your partner, the more you'll experience him or her as a thou rather than it. Your love and appreciation will grow. Will you make this happen by being curious and asking your partner open-ended questions and then listening as he or she discloses their answers? Most people like to open up and talk about themselves if they feel safe. You make it safe by being a good, non-judgmental listener. Of course, you don't want to come off as interrogating or controlling. The conversation has to feel quite natural. You certainly can't have an agenda. Can't be an agenda of trying to correct or fix your partner in any way during these conversations. Your purpose is to genuinely care about their world, the past, the present, and the future. Doing this builds trust and greater friendship and love. Remember this, happy couples spend about 50% of their communication being curious and inviting their spouse to share. So what would it be like if you tried this? Next time you're with your spouse, be curious. Ask a question or two, and then become an interested listener. I've created a handout with some deeper questions to help you do what I'm talking about. And if doing the course as a couple, share it and talk about these things together. And if you're doing it on your own, make a note of some of the questions and as unobtrusively as possible, begin asking and deepening your learning about your spouse. Of course, you're in no way limited to my questions. Take some time to think about what you would like to know about your partner, or even what you'd like your partner to know about you. These can be simple things, like your favorite musical group, or deeper things like what brings you joy day to day, or a hard experience that shaped your life. But this kind of deep knowledge of each other brings resilience to your relationship to weather the marital storms. Couples who do this are better able to deal with stress and conflict. Their intimate knowledge of one another helps them stay connected during difficult transitions like having a baby or losing a job or suffering an illness or moving to a new location, going through retirement, or simply getting into a big fight. Now I want to transition to a different but similar practice. Research shows that happy couples talk an average of 5 hours per week more than unhappy couples. One way they do this is by coming together for usually about 20 minutes at the end of each day, or sometime during the day, often at the end of the day, and to talk about the day and to share whatever is going on in their lives. Now, these conversations are not particularly deep. They are friendly, but they're not relationship focused. They're not problem focused. You're not bringing up conflict. So a simple way to do this is simply to ask when you have an opportunity, maybe in the evening, hey, how was your day? And then sit back and listen without giving unsolicited advice. There's a related practice, and that's reminiscing, talking about the good times and shared memories. Research shows that people who take time to reminisce are happier, and couples do this by deliberately talking about the good times from the past, even viewing pictures and mementos, videos that are significant to both of you. These memories become anchors that help cement your relationship. It's also possible to do this when times are hard. If one or both of you are struggling, rather than giving in to the negative, you can think back to positive experiences together. Marriage counselors, this is very common, will have couples talk about life when they first met in order to help them rekindle their positive feelings. And you can do this on your own as well. And now you might be thinking, well, of course happy couples spend more time talking. They like each other. But the question is, do these couples spend more time talking because they like each other, or do they like each other because they spend more time talking? John Gottman would say it doesn't matter. If you want to improve your marriage, then do what happy couples do. Deepen your understanding of one another's love maps and carve out time to connect daily. You'll grow in friendship and love. Well, I'm going to introduce another strategy to build friendship in the next lesson. But in the meantime, don't forget to download the 2 resources with this lesson. One is a set of topics to deepen your intimacy. The other is an exercise, which is a set of prompts for you to use as you interview your partner. Using both of these handouts can strengthen your marriage, can help you become more friendly towards each other.